Childhood trauma. I know it's a heavy way to start a video, but if you're scrolling right now, there's a good chance that you're trying to, quiet that brain that just won't be quiet, right? You might feel like you're carrying around a backpack and it's full of bricks. Maybe you're exhausted, your back hurts, maybe you're constantly on edge from carrying the weight. And maybe it's because you've been wearing that backpack since you were like five, since you were a kid, and you don't even realize that it's there because you think that, life is supposed to be heavy for everyone. It's meant to be this way, but it's not. That's childhood trauma. And I feel like you guys need to understand it. Look, think of your mind like, a big house, and most of the time we are in the living room, okay? That's our conscious mind where we decide what to eat, what to watch. But under the floorboards, there's this massive, messy basement called the unconscious. And when we're kids and something, scary happens, maybe your parents yelled a lot, or maybe they just weren't there for you, our little kid brains, they can't process it. We're too small. So we take that fear, we run down the basement stairs and we shove it into a corner. Then we lock the door and we head back to the living room or, the safe space where we can be a normal kid. The problem though is that the basement, you need to think of it as not soundproof. These memories, they're down there. They're rattling the pipes and messing with the electricity and the whole house. And this is what, psychologists call trauma triggers. And that's why, you might have a total meltdown over a glass of water being dropped. Or maybe you feel your chest tighten when someone says, we need to talk. And, it's the basement screaming through the floorboards. Okay? You put everything there. It's still there. It still exists. So if you grew up in a house that felt like a war zone, even a quiet one, your brain stayed in, survival mode. You got really good at hyper vigilance. You can tell by the way someone sighs or the way they put their keys on the table exactly what kind of mood they're in, right? Because back then, that was your superpower. It kept you safe. But now that you're an adult, right? You're doing the same thing with your boss, your friends, maybe even the cashier. You're always like scanning for danger that isn't even there. Okay? You'll probably have like an alarm system inside of you and it's like on the loudest setting, right? And there's this thing we do, it's called repetition compulsion. Okay? And it basically means our brains is glued to punishment. So have you ever noticed like you keep dating the same type of person? Maybe they're all kind of cold or they treat you like an afterthought. It's not your brain being stupid, it's actually trying to help. It thinks, hey, that person who didn't love us when we were 6, let's find someone just like them and finally make them love us. If we win this time, the past won't hurt anymore. All right, that's probably like the thought process. But you're just playing a game that's practically already over. Okay, you're reliving the stress, hoping for a different ending. Okay, and to be honest, it's just burning you out. All right. So how do we actually change? How do we, stop the noise from the basement? Well, first you need to stop calling yourself broken or lazy because you aren't. Those habits, the people pleasing, pushing people away, those were obviously survival skills and they were obviously the armor that got you through. It's just that now you're a grown adult trying to, wear the same armor that you had when you were like 7, 5, 6, whatever. No wonder why it hurts now, right? It's very tight. The way out, obviously, is you have to go to the basement. You have to go down there, unlock the door, go with a flashlight and realize that the things that are scaring you, they are old memories and they need to be told that they're safe now. This is what we would call, inner child work. Next time you feel that sudden panic, stop yourself and ask, is this like a now problem or a then problem? And 90% of the time, the fear that you feel, it belongs to the kid that you used to be, not the person you are today. All right? Yeah, it takes time to unpack all of these things, and it's okay, it's messy. If you need a therapist to help you, then you deserve that, because you deserve to live in a house where the basement is, finally quiet. And remember that you're doing a lot better than you give yourself credit for. I hope you guys remember that. Thank you.